Hi guys, D23 here, and today we are going to take a look at some of the biggest news to come out of Disney's D23 Expo. And I'm going to throw in my 2 cents to the conversation as well. We're going to skip the intro and just jump right into it by talking about Marvel. So, the biggest news of the Expo, to me at least, came from the announcement of 3 additional MCU series coming to Disney+. She-Hulk, Moon Knight, and Ms. Marvel. So let's look at the good first before covering the bad. And that good would hopefully be She-Hulk. So believe it or not, I'm actually a big She-Hulk fan. I actually own the first appearance of the character because I am a big fan. Check out those bell bottoms, man. I enjoyed John Byron's run on Sensational She-Hulk before Deadpool started breaking the fourth wall. She-Hulk did it first in this comic, and I enjoyed it a lot. The She-Hulk comics were always fun to read. I'm hoping that the show captures that fun, and I hope they stick to who this character is by keeping her in control of her transformation, by keeping her a lawyer. Make this series like Law and Order, but like handling like metahumans and superstars, movie stars, but just keep it light because that is who this character is. The other series here is Moon Knight. And in all honesty, I've never been a big fan of the character. I don't really care either way. I'm a big Marvel fan, and I know who Moon Knight is. I do think the character could translate into a good show simply due to his dual personality disorder and a darker tone, though it still remains to be seen how dark they will actually take the character on Disney+. The show needs to be like Netflix series dark in order to translate the character properly, in my opinion. So here's the bad. Ms. Marvel is the real issue here. On the upside, at least it isn't a movie, but on the downside, I don't know why they're doing anything with this character at all. To me, when I think of Ms. Marvel, I think of Carol Danvers' Ms. Marvel. But this Ms. Marvel is actually about a character named Kamala Khan, whose powers are to make big hands. I'm not kidding. Those are her powers. She makes big hands. She embodies a lot of the problems with comics right now, in my opinion. There is a constant need to push like new characters in our face, when the majority of the people who get comics are getting them for the characters that they grew up with. That's not to say new characters can't be good. Miles Morales' Spider-Man, for instance, is really good. But 98% of the people who watch MCU films are not going and picking up comics on a regular basis. And the younger demographic they are trying to reach with like these things like Ms. Marvel, they just don't buy comics. They don't buy that many comics. And all the time I've spent at my local comic shop, I've never seen a single person pick up a Ms. Marvel comic. Not even once. Anyway, needless to say, I think it's just, they're wasting time with this character. It's a waste of time. There are better things for Marvel to pull from than Kamala Khan's Ms. Marvel. So Kit Harington, aka Jon Snow, is going to be in Marvel's upcoming movie, The Eternals. And as I said in my MCU Phase 4 video, I'm not too familiar with the Eternals. I had heard of them before, but I was never interested enough to pick up the comic and check it out. Kit Harington will be playing Black Knight, which is a character I'm somewhat familiar with. I know that he's a descendant of a knight of like King Arthur's court, the Round Table. Honestly, the cast of Eternals is shaping up pretty good, so maybe the Eternals will surprise me and be pretty solid. I don't know. Kat Dennings and Randall Park John will reprise their small MCU roles as Darcy from Thor and FBI agent Jimmy Woo from Ant-Man. They are reprising their roles in The Falcon and Winter Soldier. So it's not big news, but it's kind of interesting. I'm guessing they are brought in for some comedy because that's all their characters actually contributed to their respective movies. They were the comedy. They also released a poster for The Falcon Winter Soldier, which looks pretty plain. In all honesty, I wish they had made a movie with these two characters instead of a series. I would have preferred a movie. I'd be more interested in that than a lot of the movies that they've actually have coming out in Phase 4. I think the characters have some of the funniest scenes in Civil War, like the scene with the car and Winter Soldier asking Falcon to move his seat up. I just love their relationship in Civil War, and like from that movie alone, I think that this series could be pretty cool. There was also a poster for WandaVision, which gives the vibe of like a 50s or 60s sitcom, like a Leave It to Beaver or a Dick Van Dyke show. In the comics, Wanda alters reality in multiple ways, even creating the House of M storyline, which is an awesome storyline where 99% of the planet are mutants. So maybe like this is an alternate reality she created or something. It has me interested to see what they actually do with WandaVision. Of course, the other poster being released is Black Widow. I'm very happy that we are finally getting this movie. It has been a long time coming. I'm glad it's a prequel covering her time as a Russian spy, and the poster design is actually really cool. Of course, none of these posters have been officially released. They're just pictures somebody took at the expo, so, it'd be nice to see a high resolution, but they're really cool. I love the design, the colors. I love how the symbols in there. This poster is pretty good, not going to lie. This is much more than what I can say for the Rise of Skywalker poster, which I will be talking about here in a minute. I will get to it, believe me. But first, let's before we talk about Star Wars, let's talk about something that's actually Disney related. This is a Disney Expo after all. Lady and the Tramp is coming to Disney Plus. This is, of course, not news. We already knew about this movie. The only news here is that it will actually be on the platform at launch on November 12th. I have made no secret about my growing distaste for Disney's live action remakes. I did a rant video on The Lion King in particular, which did pretty well, got a lot of views. So it seems most of you would agree with my frustration with these lazy cash grab movies. I don't feel as strongly about Lady and the Tramp because it's on a streaming service, and Lady and the Tramp doesn't seem to cash in on the nostalgia like Aladdin and Lion King did this year. So in all honesty, I don't care one way or the other about Lady and the Tramp. It doesn't have that built-in nostalgia that I think Disney's trying to bank on, which is probably why it's being released on the streaming service and not in theaters. In that case, it's just kind of a throwaway movie, and that's fine. So moving on to Star Wars news. The poster for The Rise of Skywalker dropped, as I said before, and it looks fan-made to say the least. That is not new. Subpar movie posters have become the norm over the last few years. Gone are the days of amazing art from like Drew Struzan. Those times have gone. Instead, we get Photoshop posters. Just look at Aquaman and Spider-Man Homecoming. Both these posters were terrible. Now, that doesn't mean Photoshop posters inherently can't be good. Like, if they have the right design, Photoshop posters could be awesome. But seriously, guys, this poster is just lazy. It doesn't feel like a Star Wars poster. And they use the Emperor Hot Toys for the poster. A hot toy. Now, for those who don't know, hot toys are a part of sideshows like premium format figures. They are quite expensive, which is why I only own two, Luke Skywalker and Darth Vader. I own both of them. They are amazing figures, some of the best faithfully designs, like things you will ever see with amazing likenesses. But seriously, how does a hot toy get put into an official studio release poster? Anyway, needless to say, I don't like the poster. I have very minimal interest in the movie, which is shocking to me as a Star Wars fan that I just don't care about Episode 9. And I wholly attribute that to how terrible The Last Jedi was. FYI, I don't like The Last Jedi. I'll be bringing it up again. The Mandalorian trailer dropped and it actually looks really good. I'm tentatively excited to check this one out. I say tentatively because I have been beyond disappointed with what Disney has done with the Star Wars franchise. They have come very close to killing it. And this is coming from a lifelong Star Wars fan. Even during the prequel times, fans would have never said Star Wars is dead. But some people are saying that now. Lifelong Star Wars fans are saying that now. But Disney has brought it dangerously close to the grave with its mishandling, man. But the Mandalorian looks to have some solid effects and action, has a lot of money behind it with an estimated budget of like $120 million for just 8 episodes. It looks like a cool sci-fi style Western, which is, I think, what it needs to be. It seems to have a darker tone with the stormtrooper helmets up on the spikes in the trailer. There's some good talent behind it with Jon Favreau as showrunner. I love that they are bringing in IG-88, who I've wanted to see on screen since Shadows of the Empire. Yeah, I know technically he appeared in the background in Empire Strikes Back, but that doesn't really count. Also, this could open the door to possibly bringing in Dash Rendar from Shadows of the Empire series, maybe in season 2. Who knows if it works out. could work out. I don't know. The Mandalorian trailer to me was the biggest tangible thing to come out of the D23 Expo. Well, hello there. Yes, Ewan McGregor says yes. He says yes to Obi-Wan. This has been speculated by fans for years now. The #1 fan request has actually come to fruition. Who would have guessed? I think this is the #1 thing that I'm looking forward to out of Disney Plus. Ewan McGregor as Obi-Wan was the best part of the prequels, and seeing that span of time between episode 3 and episode 4 has always interested me. Seeing Obi-Wan deal emotionally with the fall of the Jedi Order and the fall of his best friend, a lone samurai out in the desert, I really wanted a movie, in all honesty. But if the script is good and there's an actual plan for the series, it could be even better than a movie. Who knows? Again, I'm not a fan of what Disney has done with Star Wars thus far. I'm hoping this might actually be a step to recovery from the wreckage of The Last Jedi. And this part is being tacked onto the video since the new Rise of Skywalker trailer dropped today while I was finishing editing this video. So, quick thoughts. So, more than half the trailer is just clips from the original trilogy and the prequel trilogy. So I guess to make us care about this into the Star Wars Skywalker saga, it just proves that no one really cares about the Disney trilogy. It can't stand on its own. Other than that, I don't have a whole lot to say about what they showed. Other than Rey having a double-bladed red lightsaber that like flips around and is a convertible. Honestly, the thing looks ridiculous. It does. It reminds me of all the memes that popped up about Kylo Ren's like crossguard lightsaber during the Force Awakens teaser. Now, Kylo Ren's crossguard lightsaber actually has practical use. A convertible what is it with them always having to change what a lightsaber is? Why can't somebody just have a lightsaber? Honestly, I think Rey is probably like a clone experiment of Palpatine's or something like that. Rey was probably dropped off on Jakku because she leaned towards a light or something dumb like that. I don't know. Will I be seeing Rise of Skywalker? Yes, but only to give a review. I'm only mildly interested out of morbid curiosity because I want to see what J.J. Abrams will try and do to fix what The Last Jedi did. If you have not checked out my prequels versus sequels Star Wars video analysis breakdown, please check it out. I go into a lot of depth and I'm very proud of how that one turned out. I'll put it in the link below, but let's get back to the main video here. And in my opinion, that's just some of the biggest stuff to come out of the D23 Expo. It seems the majority of the Star Wars news was put out at Star Wars Celebration, and the majority of Marvel news was released at San Diego Comic-Con. And as well as it should be, I think. There were enough tidbits that they held back just to release this weekend that I thought a video was in order. And I want to thank all of you guys. I want to thank you subscribers. I want to thank all of y'all for watching this video. If you like this video, please like, comment, subscribe, and share it. Or don't. I'm not a beggar. I'm D23 and I'll always tell you the truth.